Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Champion Cycle. On this episode, we have, as you guys can see before us, a brand spanking new 2026 Honda CBR1000RR-R. There's nothing more I can tell you guys about this bike that you haven't already read, researched, and or heard of, because it is literally the bike at the moment. As you guys can see, this bike is brand spanking new. Come on over here and let me show you a couple things just to verify what we're saying is true. As you guys can see, the key still has the dealership garbage tags and this little plastic protector. You guys can see here the screen still has the protector on it. The bike has 5 kilometers or something from when it was PDI'd. It is brand spanking new. Also thought it was be interesting to note, bring that camera over here. Let me show the folks at home. Take a look at this disgustingness. Let's take it in for a second. How filthy, how nasty, dirty the dealership delivered this guy's brand spanking new bike. Now, this is a local dealership that we deal with here, and they delivered this bike to us on behalf of the client. I'm not going to name the dealership, but I will say, look at the condition of this bike. Now imagine the customer paid $43,000, and this is the way the dealership delivered his bike. So obviously, before we go ahead and do a full teardown and build on this bike, we are going to clean it, because straight up, this is disgusting. First step we're going to do is we're going to get this bike up on the dyno and get some before numbers. Come on around here. Let's look at a couple things that everybody knows anyways about all the Olins and Brembro and Acro tie goodies and all the great things about this motorcycle. Let's just take it in for a minute in silence. This is where we cue the music. But anyways, guys, back to what matters. So as you guys can see, brand new bone stock. We are going to put this bugger up on the dyno. We are going to see exactly what she makes. Never mind what we're told and what's claimed. We're going to see what it actually makes to the wheel. After we're done finding out what the max power she makes to the wheel is, bone stock, we are going to put it up on the bench. We are going to tear it apart. We're going to do a full exhaust system. We're going to do velocity stacks, air filter, chain sprockets, a whole bunch of other goodies. We have a massive pile that we've been accumulating, tail tidies and all this other pretty stuff. But we're going to make this thing, as far as bolt-on performance is concerned, a weapon. Then we're going to put it up on the dyno, and we're going to go ahead and do some ECU tuning, and we're going to see what we can really get out of this bike without any nonsense, and of course, in typical Champion fashion, without all the hyped up bull crap numbers that you hear online and all these other places. We'll give you guys the real answers, and we'll put it up on the dyno so you see the proof is in the pudding. Stick around, guys. You guys might like this one. All right, guys, so as we explained outside, our brand new Honda CBR1000RR-R is up on the dyno. We are going to do some base runs just to see how much horsepower she gives us stock before we do the Champion stuff to her. As you guys can see, it's the same bike that we just showed you is outside. The only difference is I took off the tank cover inside so that I could access RPM and give you guys an actual torque reading. I also put the probe in so we can actually see, how does this thing actually breathe stock? Is the air fuel good from factory, or are they running them lean as hell like they used to pass EPA standards and to pretend like the bike has low emissions? We're about to find out. Let's see what this thing does. Here we go. Protect your boy Matt's ears. Oh, never mind. He's already protected. Get the key fob close enough to start this girl. Fire her up. We're going to go ahead and put her in track mode 1, and let's see what she does. Here we go. right, guys, so we have the answers to all of our questions. We did 3 pulls. The reason I stopped at 3 is because the numbers actually started going down. So let's go ahead and eliminate these ugly graphs. Let's pick the one with the highest power, which was 18. That was here. Don't worry about seeing all the other runs. That is from our previous video on dyno break-ins for the motor. These are the first 3 full, let's see what she makes runs. As you guys can see here, 163 horsepower to the wheel, 74 foot-pounds of torque. Peak power was made at 10,800 RPM. You can actually see it here. Oh, not even. It's somewhere about here. So that's when it made peak horsepower and torque right there. Boom, highest point of torque. So that's what we were looking at. Highest horsepower was at 11.9, which is 12. You can see that little up dip there. So horsepower peak, torque peak, they're different. Interesting to note. Another thing to see, guys, as you guys can see, the air fuel. This thing is hella lean and disgusting looking. Then it goes insanely rich, and then it levels out relatively decently, but still kind of looks like ass. So some of you at home might be thinking, oh, my bike is stock. I don't need an ECU flash tune. Oh, my bike is original. I don't need this. I don't need that. Well, guess what? The AFR is insanely lean, which is why your motor and your bike tends to run hot as hell. Then it goes goofy rich. As you guys can see, that AFR is disgusting no matter who your tuner is. So yes, your stock bike can definitely benefit from a tune, or at least a flash tune. AFR is terrible from the factory, which is probably why there's a lot of horsepower on the table. Horsepower 163 again, torque 74, air fuel looks like ass. We are going to go ahead and put this thing up on the bench. We are going to go through our entire build procedure. We'll let you know what parts we're putting on. We'll film a lot of the build, and we'll get this thing back up on the dyno. We'll go ahead and see how much power we can actually get out of it with what mods. Important to note, guys, we did order the correct Akrapovič header setup for this particular year motor. If you know, you know. Stay tuned. This is going to be a good one. We'll get this pig over on the dyno, and let's get this bad boy going.
Hey guys, a new day at the shop. Last night Danny was tuning this bike to show you guys the stock numbers. Now we're going to be installing these goodies over here. We have here a full system titanium acro system, sprockets and chain, sliders, air filter, velocity stacks, and a tail tidy. So we're gonna be showing you guys before and after, as you guys can see.
All right, guys, so here you have it. This is the 2026 RR that we have been doing so much work on. The bike is fresh off the bench over there, and it has made its way to the front of our dyno door over here. We're basically done, less obviously. We have to put the cover back on once I'm done working on the ECU, and the seat on once I'm done doing all my tuning on the dyno. But for all in all, and all intents and purposes, we are done with all of our modifications, less the tuning. As you guys can see, we have our axle protectors, rear and front. If you come on over here, I'll show you guys, we have our chain and sprocket conversion right there. So that's all done. We did our NRC tail tidy delete kit. In the airbox, as you guys saw in the video there, we did our MWR World Superbike velocity stack kit and sprint air filter combo. We have our full titanium Akrapovič race line exhaust. We've got our carbon fiber bracket for the exhaust to delete the passenger pegs. We have our frame sliders, as you guys can see up here in the front. So a nice Evotech product. Currently, we called the customer and informed him to buy himself a solo cowl because this passenger seat is just disgusting. We have a power bronze double bubble smoked windscreen as well. And for the haters, the owner of this bike is a goddamn giant. So he will not be tucking under the window. So for those of you that say clear windscreens are better than dark smoke, it don't matter. This guy cannot physically get underneath the windshield regardless. Basically that wraps up and sums up everything we did. I mean, we put some stomp grips so he'll have some grip when he's dragging knee, etc. But for all the meat and potatoes portion of it, she's basically done. We've already broken it in and changed the oil out to some better oil as well. So we're gonna put it up on the dyno. We're gonna beat the bejesus out of her right now, tune her. We're gonna go from low range to high range, make sure this guy can ride on the street or track, wherever he likes. This bike will ride like a gem 24/7. Let's go ahead and get this thing up on the dyno and see how much power we can't squeeze out of her. All right, guys, so there you have it. This almost wraps up our 2026 CBR1000RR-R build video. We are all done here on the dyno. This tire is getting hella hot and we don't want to beat this bike up more than we need to. She's running like a charm. The guy is going to be super happy. As always, we are not tuning for some crazy horsepower number so we can sell some file on the internet. We're actually tuning for perfect reliability, running excellence, just an all-around great fun machine, but at the same time, power, performance, reliability, smoothness of throttle, all the good stuff you would actually want, not just a preloaded map that you never know what you're gonna get. So in the end, our peak power, I will eliminate all of these scribbles and scratches and I will only highlight the highest, which is the red 2257. So it's the blue, it was all but this. So our peak power we ended up making was 202 horsepower and 80 foot-pounds of torque. So 202.57, so basically 203 if we're gonna round, and obviously if we're gonna round, we're rounding up. Torque was 80.21, so for rounding, because we're beneath 50, we'll go down, so 80. So we will call it 203 horsepower and 80 foot-pounds of torque. This bike is also geared down in sprocket size because the owner likes to do highway fun, we'll call it. But all in all, it's a beautiful machine, 203 horsepower from where we started. This bike is gonna be an absolute animal and just a straight up joy to ride. Hope you guys have found some of this interesting. We're gonna take it off the dyno now and we're gonna go ahead and close up the ECU compartment here and button up the tank cover and the seat and give it a quick clean for the customer. Then we'll give it a good wipe and wash. Now that she's all done, if you know, you know, we're gonna slap this bad boy on because this bike has earned it. I'm gonna wind up sitting that beauty right there. Can't do it right now on camera, unfortunately, because she's a bit dirty with some chain crustiness, but once we give it a clean, I'll slap that bad boy on, and she's all done. So let's get it all buttoned up, and then I'll see you guys down in the shop. All right, guys, so we got it off the dyno. We were gonna button everything up, as I mentioned, on the dyno, but the customer actually popped by to check his bike out on the dyno and make some videos. He asked that we order him up a quad lock phone mount for his bike, one with the charging adapter and the anti-vibration mount. So unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to close this all up today because we're gonna run cables for his charging. We then ran into a problem that we're assuming you guys have ran into or are going to run into. I know a lot of you guys like the quad lock mounts. They're pretty common with these sport bikes. Now, if you come over here, you can see the size of the steering stem opening on this CBR. Obviously, you can see the nut is gone, so that's the nut. So from the factory, it kind of sits like that on your bike. So we've removed, I'll show it to you there, it kind of sits like that. So we've removed the black plug, and you can see the bottom. So we went ahead and we welded up, as you can see, we welded up a little aluminum plate on the top so it doesn't interfere with our nut surface. We drilled a hole dead center, the exact same size as a quad lock bolt. We tapped it, and we are going to use a locking nut underneath as well. So basically what we did was we basically invented what quad lock should make, but quad lock does not make for this bike. Quad lock actually recommends you buy their little adapter kit that mounts off the brake master here. But I mean, if you own one of these bikes or any modern day sport bike, you know that's bloody impossible with your fairing and all the rest of it, unless you're gonna have your phone fired out the side like a standalone GPS. But so we've went ahead and fabricated up this little plate. It's gonna wind up going on like so. If I can catch the threads without embarrassing myself further, there you go, or not, there we go. All right, so it's gonna go back on like normal. As you guys can see, quad lock's gonna sit there. We're gonna run some charging cables all nice and discreet. Right now, this little plate we just made and fabricated is raw. So we are going to take this next door and have it powder coated. We're gonna powder coat it actually that similar Honda blue and get it put on there, because once the quad lock's on, you will see a little bit of it. So why not give it a nice touch and powder coat it in blue? We will show you the finished product when it comes back, and we'll get this thing wrapped up.